I don't know precisely how you worded it. Andrew brought it up, something about how what's a way in which men don't have rights over their body?
Asking what government policies would govern.
That prevents you from doing something you want with your own body?
So I actually have two that kind of relate to bodily autonomy. But it was posed by you or by
me?
Who?
Well,
by
both of us. Yeah.
Okay, and that's a question.
And then I said Kamala asked that identical question.
And is that's a question that you have?
Yeah, I can't think of a single body or a single law that would prevent you from doing what you want with your body.
Circumcision, but you actually feel.
So hold on.
I feel passionately
is it your position that there is no way that a man lacks bodily autonomy?
The baby has its own body. If you wanted to do
literally anything you want with your body, I don't think
baby
anyone in the
has a body that's
and if you can name one thing, let me know. I would love to learn.
You
can't think of anything.
No one's forcing you guys to get vasectomy.
That's right, Robo.
The only thing I can think of is as an infant you being circumcised, and that is something I wholeheartedly am against as well.
You can't unalive yourself either.
You can't what?
You can't unalive yourself.
Okay, hold on.
I mean, but you can. You're not going to jail for it. You'll be dead.
Yeah, but it's hang on. But it's the question. The question that you asked wasn't whether you could do something.
Oh, that's what I'm asking.
No, that's not what you're asking, because what you're actually asking.
The government's not going to stop you from.
Okay, you gotta not cut me off every time I try to talk.
Okay.
So, no. The question which you asked was, can you name a law?
She's like violent, psycho, crazy. She's
men's bodies that because that's what's happening to women. There's a law governing their bodies. Yes, there's a law that says you cannot unalive yourself.
A law strictly pertaining to men.
Yes, you're not allowed to do that. So that would be a law that governs.
Do you feel passionate? Do you feel passionate about fighting for your right to yourself? Because I feel passionate about having for men.
We gotta use a different word. Hold on, we gotta use a different word. We gotta use a different word.
Unalive.
I would like to actually finish my point here.
Yeah, my bad.
So when it comes, I mean, while it is not by law a requirement that children are circumcised, feminists constantly make arguments about, while there isn't a law, there's a societal culture that mistreats women in this way or privileges men in this way. So I think circumcision is actually a fantastic argument when it specifically comes to bodily autonomy.
You guys don't want to know what I would do with these women.
Secondly, there actually is one.
Emperor Rachel was in charge. You don't want to know what would happen to them.
So all men in the United States, compelled by law, are required to register with the Selective Service, which in the event of a war would compel them to essentially be cannon fodder in a military conflict. Secondly, even if there wasn't a military conflict, if a man fails under law to register for the Selective Service, there are significant ramifications to this. For example, they can't vote. They are not allowed to have certain federal jobs, federal careers. They can't get student loans.
They can be imprisoned and fined.
It's a felony, $250,000 fine. There's some other potential ramifications.
And women are not subject to that, by the way.
And you know what? I really appreciate you bringing that point up, because this is where the point really lies.
What is she holding in her hand?
You're 100% correct. And the difference between you and I is that I would fight till the end for that to not be the case for you guys, but you guys would not fight for me. Clearly.
Well, hold on.
I would fight till the end to make sure that's not. I completely disagree with that. For men, men should not have to be forced.
Hold on.
I completely agree.
Wait. So
I'll fight till the end for you in that regard.
No, you won't. Shut up.
Men protect you.
I
would.
So you have shifting the goalposts.
Yeah. First off, you haven't.
I don't need men to protect me. I've protected myself.
Actually, you do need men to protect you.
Really? From who? Other men? Because I can't tell you how many times I've protected myself.
You still need men to protect you.
You need them to protect you.
I don't need you guys to protect me.
Can you stop interrupting? You got to allow people to actually.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm done.
You need to allow people to actually speak instead of just constantly interrupting them.
Okay.
It's very simple. We let you talk. Okay. So two things. First, you absolutely do need men to protect you. This may be by proxy, either through the military.
Do they have her in the description? I bet she's
I'm assuming if somebody you know were to be murdered, you would not just protect yourself. You would not investigate it yourself. You would appeal to who? Primarily men who are in law enforcement. I'm assuming, unless you just if someone you know who got murdered, you'd hope it wasn't investigated?
I would appeal to law enforcement as a whole, not to specifically men in law enforcement. And to be quite honest with you, if I mean, I don't personally own a gun. Maybe I will one day. I don't know. I don't really feel strongly either way at this moment in time about it. But I can tell you, if I need protection, if I own a gun, I don't need your muscles. I'm actually, I can handle it.
Yeah.
I don't need, I just need, here's the thing. I need tools. I don't need men. I need tools, and men hoard all the tools and resources. So I have to ask you guys for those
Okay,
tools.
so
hold on. I can use them
Hold
myself.
on.
I know how to use them.
Okay.
And are stopping women from building guns?
No, that's not what I said. Like you're taking it literally because you can't look at the bigger picture. I'm saying that like I have always been in a position in every job I've been in, school, everywhere, is that there's a man who's in power over me that I have to go to get better. I have to go to get the promotion. I have to go to convince.
Okay, no. Hold on.
If I have the tools myself, I don't need you because I have to ask you for them.
You need to stop because
I know how to use them myself.
You're not allowing me to go point by point on this. Now you're talking about promotions and stuff. Let's go back to the draft. So you made two claims there. You made the claim that, well, if I was in your position, I would advocate that men not be drafted. So let's talk about that. Okay. So I know you live in like fairy tale land where in your world, military conflict would never exist, even if women hold, even if, hold on, let me finish. In the same way you're strong. Okay. In your fairy tale world, even if women had all the power, held all positions of power, perhaps you think that there would not be any military conflicts. I think this is wrong. There would still be military conflicts regardless. So you're saying that you would advocate that there should be no draft, period.
Yes, what I'm advocating for, because you're right, in anyone's idyllic world, who wants war? No one wants war. So in my idyllic world, there wouldn't be war, sure, but I know war is a necessity. I'm very aware of that. I'm not saying that we can't survive without war, but I'm saying that the people who participate in that war should be able to choose whether they're men or women. That's it. If I have a son, I don't want to know that he's going to be taken against his own will. Like, I feel strongly about protecting my sons equally as my daughters.
But if I were to tell you, it's almost a waste of time to have a conversation of trying to get rid of the draft, because the government will never relinquish its ability to call upon its citizenry in a situation or scenario where the country needs to essentially force its citizenry into the defense of the nation. The government, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, will never relinquish this power. So assuming that, you can agree that there's no scenario where the draft will never exist.
You're right. In the society that we've built, that's what I'm saying, is a lot of shit in the society needs to be dismantled, dude, because it doesn't work. This is not the only way that we can work. There's many different ways.
War and conflict is never going to go away.
You're right. It's not, but there's different ways to go about it, is my point. And do I have all the answers? No. But is the way we're doing it currently satisfying everyone? No. We need to do something different. That's what I'm saying. We need, and that's what is the issue here, is I love this country and I want to make it better. I'm not talking shit about this country.
So what are you going to do when we get invaded by a different country that doesn't give a fuck what you think?
You're saying I would advocate for you guys, but you guys won't advocate for me. So again, I'll say it again. There's no scenario where the government is going to relinquish their right to draft the citizenry. So then wouldn't you agree that perhaps in this situation, women should also be subject to military conscription?
Yes.
100%.
Okay. It needs to be equal either way. Right. Either everyone gets to choose or no one gets to choose.
So,
that's what I'm saying.
Would it suck? We should nominate lesbians to go first.
Despite 100 years of equality when it comes to voting, women still are not obliged to be subject to military conscription. And so because of this, that is precisely one example in which men don't have bodily autonomy. So you're not actually addressing my argument here. You're just saying, well, I would advocate that men should not be drafted. But I'm telling you currently, as a rebuttal to your point of men don't have bodily autonomy, it's actually quite the opposite.
What about, we know mental health
Brian.
sucks in this country for everyone, men, women, children, doesn't matter who you are. But when the military does drafts, I know they don't take people with bipolar, BPD, all these other mental illnesses. So if we're going to like compare the two between abortion rights and being drafted for the military, what about women who have severe mental deficits, who struggle to live day to day,
like you
necessarily in the drafts wouldn't be drafted, but are still forced to carry a child that they
belong
mentally or physically are incapable of caring for completely?
I'm not sure I entirely follow. I mean, I would assume that if you have some severe mental incapacity, whether you're a man or a woman, this would preclude you from volunteer service and a draft.
Yeah,
even in
so that they're protected in that sense. But I mean, women, when it comes to abortion rights, right? People who suffer from bipolar, all these mental illnesses that make it not only hard to function as like a day-to-day person, but as a full parent who is responsible for another living being.
Then you shouldn't be having sex.
Would they be forced to carry that child to term if they found out they were pregnant later in life?
So just to summarize this, make sure I'm not strawmanning this. What you're saying is, yes, okay, this is true. Men lose their autonomy this way and women lose their autonomy this way. But the exemptions that men get is that if they have mental health issues, they don't have to go into military service. But women, if they have mental health issues, would still have to bear the child.
Yes.
So this is not fair, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's not fair.
Now at least I understand. So that I do have this down correctly, right? Okay. So what I would say to this is, okay, fair enough. But you do realize that draft standards, how they're set, are actually designed to be lowered instantly by necessity.
Yeah, I'm sure if they need soldiers, they're gonna be like, oh, he's a little fucked up.
Yeah, he's a little fucked up.
We'll take him anyways.
In fact, they will lower the IQ standards significantly.
Yeah.
Right. They'll lower all standards across the board. Yeah, they just need bodies. And so now your BPD, this and that. Oh, you got some medication that'll help you with that? Get your ass to the front line. So essentially, these things will be removed via necessity. So it's not a disqualifier from you getting drafted.
Men don't get to act
in a perfect world. Yeah,
men cannot
not
act
completely, but
they can.
They don't have that standard for pregnant women.
I do. I mean, I have really quickly one thing on this, and I'll pass it back to Andrew. So when it comes to the draft, you'd be forced to do that by the government. The government isn't forcing you to have sex.
Thank you, Brian.
No, but sex is a natural and healthy thing. No one's forcing you.
Yeah.
No one's forcing you, but
there is a bit of a differentiation there. I mean, that's all my piece.
It's human nature. I feel like on the topic of sex, I feel like people have made sex such a taboo subject when all that matters is communication and consent. And if everyone's behaving and having sex in a healthy way, everyone's getting tested properly, they're communicating what they have, if they have anything, what partners they've had. I don't feel like sex is something that people should be ashamed of.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how sex being natural negates the fact that it's a choice, whereas conscription would not be. And pregnancy usually is an entailment of choice. So women who carry pregnancies via SAs, for instance, those are outliers. Those are rare, right? Most pregnancies are not. It does.
I won't say it's not.
Disputing it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that that's not the vast, overwhelming majority, not even close. So taking this into consideration, even if they were to make the SA exemption, you were SA'd, fine, then you can have the abortion. And those exemptions do exist. The exemption on the draft, there's still no choice. Whereas the sex is a choice, which leads to the pregnancy.
Well, I think the problem isn't the people. I think the problem isn't the people, it's the government who wants to tell us what to do. You have to go in the draft. I have to have this baby. I think that in itself is what's wrong, not the fact that, men have these privileges and men have this and that. The government set that up, not each individual person. We are merely here existing in this country based off what we've been taught and told and learned through thousands of years of translated
scripts. But you have a representative government, so they're representing the will of you. Isn't that what the point is?
But are they really representing every single person in this country?
Well, I mean, but that would be in the realm of impossibility regardless of the government archetype you have.
That's why I feel every person should have the right to choose what they want to do with their person. Obviously, murder is wrong. You can't do something to someone else that's, murder. You're killing them, not respecting boundaries, consent, all this shit.
Do you mind if I test this logic real quick?
Yeah.
Yes, let's.
So you have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you.
So your kid is an adult. When they reach an adult stage, they should be able to do what they want, right?
Pertaining to themselves, yes.
Pertaining to themselves. So your kid runs into your room, pulls out a heater, puts it up to their head and says, "This is it, Mom. I'm doing it, and I'm an adult." Are you going to let her?
I mean, at that point, that's someone you would need to get help for.
Yeah,
I don't think any logical,
hang on, back up.
Not somebody who wants to kill their own child.
Logical person
why
who
couldn't
isn't
they?
going through something,
that
goes back to mental health. Mental health is fucking...
Wait a second. So not everybody should have the right to do whatever they want then.
He has the right.
Yeah, then why would you try to stop him?
Because I love them.
Right. So your love for them, you would interject and take that right away from them, right? Out of love for them?
I would offer them help.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay. You would offer them help by not letting them do that first. You would do whatever you could so that they put that heater down and didn't do it right then, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what Christians are trying to do for you.